Okay, just gathering up some supplies. I hit the go live button a little too soon. We are in a different location today. I am having internet troubles out in the barn, so we are trying it inside right now. So let me gather up all my stuff. I did it a little differently. I basically got everything packed up because all of my shipping supplies is out there. So we'll bring out the box, kind of open it up. I didn't tape anything up, and then we'll show you what sold. And we'll do have to grab a couple envelopes. Okay. Because the way I have everything boxed up, I'm not going to go in any type of order. I'm just going to grab a box, pull it out, then we'll look it up, show you what we sold and what it sold for. Okay, first thing that we have here, this is a dealer promo car. This thing is just plastic. This one's missing a tail light right there. But you can tell these are dealer promos because typically the hoods will not open. You'll have a date on the bumper. This one actually has a license plate on the back, but typically you'll have a date on the bumper, both sides. And then there's no trunk opening action. You can't see the engine. It's more of just like a solid plastic model. And these dealer promos can sell really well. So this one, let me find it on my eBay here. This is a 1960 Mercury Lane. And let's see if I can pull it up without showing you who bought it. Can't figure it out at the second, but this one sold for $67.49. So $67.49. Again, it's just a plastic dealer promo. But if you ever are out and you're seeing these dealer promos, again, more of a solid model. You can't really open up the hood. These aren't built from model kits. They have the dates on the front and the back. Typically, this one somebody put a license plate over. But you want to keep an eye out for these. These are really good. This is like the 5th one we've sold in the last 2 days. And if you have one that is in really good condition, sometimes they can go upwards of $250, $300. I would not pay, who we got here? Hot Wheel Manic. I would not pay anywhere near that for these. I don't collect cars either, but people really love these dealer promos. So definitely keep an eye out for them. So we're gonna wrap this in some bubble wrap. The good thing is with these just being plastic and fairly solid plastic, they're pretty durable. A lot of times they are missing like their mirrors, their hood ornaments, stuff like that. So we just got a little bit of packing paper in the box. The car that's all bubble wrapped inside. fill the rest in, and then I always like, once I get it closed, do a shake test. I'm just making sure that there's nothing that's shaking around in the inside. When things are able to shift inside the package, that's when stuff gets damaged. And again, sorry, we are going live a little differently. I'm on my kitchen or my dining room table right now. I've been battling some internet issues out in the barn. Just want to write on the box what we have here. Okay, next item. Actually going to save that one. That's from my personal store. I want to make sure that we do them all together so I'm not having to log in and out of the different eBays. And if you guys are unfamiliar to my channel, I have a business partner, so we share an eBay together, and then I have my own personal eBay. So when I'm doing these shipping lives, I like to keep half the live for my personal stuff. Really, it's not even half, because I typically don't have as much going out of mine, and then the other part for ours, and that's just so I don't have to keep logging in and out of the different eBays. That's a mine as well. Okay, I know what this is. This is a coin set. It is a Larry Bird with certificate of authenticity. So it's a Larry Bird coin set. This was made, so it's limited to 3,300, which if you know anything about Larry Bird, that was his number, was 33. This was made from Highland Mint, but I think it was on like the Bradford Exchange website or something, because it came in this Bradford Exchange box. And we actually picked this up from somebody that walked into the coin shop that we have our video game store in, and they were selling stuff to our friend Adam, who owns the coin shop, and he pretty much just picks up if it's like silver and gold stuff. This is only plated in silver, so the silver content really doesn't carry any value with stuff like this. And we couldn't really find anything on this. So basically, he had a bunch of coin sets like this. A lot of them were like World War II, memorial coins, stuff like that. So he sold Adam all the actual silver stuff. Adam paid for all that. And then Adam sold all of this stuff to us. And I think we paid $50 for all the other coin sets. There just wasn't a lot of sold listings on some of these. And they've actually been selling way better than what we thought they would. But this coin set sold for $135. So $135. Again, it's not real silver. It's just for the coins. We actually sold a Kansas City Chiefs one yesterday for like $160. And I did not do my live shipping yesterday because, again, the internet went out on the barn and I had over 20 orders going out. So I wasn't going to haul 20 orders inside and deal with that headache. But where did I put the box? Okay, so I already did cut a custom box. So this box was the same size as this box. So as you can see, it's got a little extra cut there. I basically just narrowed it and made it a little longer so it would fit this coin set. And the way we're going to do this, the coin set is already sturdy. It's protected inside. It's just the box that we have to protect. So I have a good layer of bubble wrap that we're going to put right over the top of the box like that. And then we're going to set the coins directly on that bubble wrap, as you can see. And then once it goes in, the bubble wrap goes on top as well. And then we're just going to fill in the rest with the packing paper. And I did leave my knife outside, so let me go grab another knife. Not what I would typically cut these boxes with, but I left my other knife outside. This one is a good sharp knife though. I haven't used it a whole ton. Again, apologies for the shaky camera. We are on a dining room table. It's not my typical setup. So I can get this internet issue fixed out in the barn. Okay, so we got that. Do the shake test. It's not moving. And now we're just going to add tape all over this thing. So whenever you cut a custom box, it typically doesn't seal as well as the way the box was intended. So I always go through and add extra tape. So I'm just going to tape this down as much as I can. And also when you cut your own custom box, or I should say resize, because I'm not making my own box, I'm just resizing one to fit my needs. Sometimes you'll have gaps. So I just make sure that any gap, I'm taping the crap out of it so no water, moisture is going to get inside, and just give it all that extra protection that we can. And almost done, but that coin set is protected very nicely in there now. One more piece of tape should do it. And there, our coin set is all taped up. And that was a Larry Bird coin set, if you're just now coming in, that sold for $135. Okay, our next item going out here. This came from a hoarder house that we picked last year around Thanksgiving time. This lady, her parents had shopped on QVC like crazy. They purchased a whole bunch of brand new in-package items, and we basically had to dig through like sometimes 2 feet of stuff to get under it. We found Hudson Bay blankets, we found tons of vintage toys, and one of the things that we found a lot of was this type of pottery. This is Unikat, U-N-I-K-A-T. It's a Polish pottery brand. And all of these that we got were brand new. And I think we got somewhere around like 24 of these, different cups, bowls, mugs, dishes, all kinds of different stuff. And it all sold really well. This one did come with the certificate of authenticity, and the way these Polish pottery things work is they all have their, so it's actually like I can't even say it, Boleslawiec, Bolshewik maybe, from the Zanger company. But we always listed it as Unikat because that's what was on the backs of these. And they all have their own artists too. So they're like custom made. So this one came in its own box, but we do not want to ship it in that box. It's just not enough protection for a piece of pottery. And this pottery sold, if I can find it, for $17. Some of these were selling for really good. Like we were getting $30 for mugs. Some of the bigger ones were anywhere from $50 to $100. But for this little thing, 17 bucks, which we essentially didn't pay anything for this because we got this at this hoarder house and we were buying by the truckload. So we really don't have hardly anything into it. So we're gonna leave it in this box. fold it up here. Again, it came in its own little box, but this just is not enough protection to ship it out in. But it's not shifting inside there. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some packing paper. So we're going to double box it. So it's going to stay in its original box. And whenever you're double boxing something, again, this camera's super shaky, I'm sorry, but you want to try to make sure you go around the whole edge to give it as much protection as you can. We want to minimize all of the shock that we can. So if during delivery it gets a little rough and starts pushing up against this box, we want it to be hitting that packaging material, not the actual item. So now we got it in there. You do the shake test, it's good to go. And just like that, that item is packed up, ready to go. Little piece of pottery that we sold for 17 bucks. And as with all of my items, the buyer did pay the shipping. Okay, let's go with two super easy items to ship out. And the reason they're easy is because all it is Pokemon cards. And these are even easier than some Pokemon cards because they are under $20. So anytime that you sell TCG products for under $20, if you don't know what TCG is, it's just a trading card game. If you sell Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, any of those that are under $20, you can use what they call the eBay standard envelope. And what the standard envelope is you literally just ship it in an envelope. I do leave it in a top loader. I load these upside down. So this is where the opening of the card is. I load it upside down into the top loader. So it'll go in like so. And the reason I do it upside down is that way when I put a piece of tape on it, because I want to keep it inside the top loader. So when I put this piece of tape in here and we seal it shut, if for some reason the card were to come out of the top of the sleeve, it's not going to hit tape. It's just going to go to the bottom of the top loader. So that's why I do them upside down. That's how I've always shipped my Pokemon cards. So we have Espeon. These two cards did walk into our shop a couple weeks ago. So Espeon sold for $12, and the buyer paid that eBay standard shipping, so it's super cheap. It's only like $1 something. I think they paid $1.30 for this one. And then all you do is put it in the envelope, seal it up, and I go ahead and I put a piece of tape right there. And it's done. Super easy to ship that. If they sell for more than $20, you cannot use the standard envelope. So one of your choices is if you're selling something and you got it priced for like $22, $25, I personally, even if it's $25, I leave it at $25 and I do the higher shipping costs. But if it's like close to $22, I'll probably drop it down to $20. That way the buyer can have that standard envelope. It'll sell more likely. So this was Espeon. And then you can print off your standard envelope label just like you would on eBay. They do not fit very well on here. So yeah, they do not fit. My labels don't fit on here very well. So I just cut the bottom part off the label. I leave all the important stuff and it seems to do just fine for me. So that'll go out just like that. And the next one, we have Arceus and Dialga. This one sold for $19.99. So again, we hit that $20 threshold. It's under $20. I loaded that sleeve upside down in there. It will go directly into the envelope with just the top loader and you ship it out. If I sell stuff for more than $20, I do add a little more protection to it because I can send it in a bubble mailer. You cannot use bubble mailers with the standard envelope. You can try, but my post office, they don't allow it because it's supposed to make it through their machines. So I've been shipping them like this and I haven't had an issue with it. Okay, I think it's time to shift gears to my personal store now. We had some more sales on mine and Brandon's store, but either Brandon has them, they're in the shop where I couldn't get to them yet, or they were in the storage unit after I left. I know as soon as I left, like less than an hour, we sold a blow mold that I thought about grabbing while I was there, but it hadn't sold yet. And it looks like we have a cancellation request. Not sure what it's for. We'll figure that out. It's not something I'm shipping. Oh, and actually, this car just sold on our eBay, but I don't have it ready to go. But this is another one of the dealer promos. So just like I showed that very first thing I shipped out, this is a plastic dealer promo. It's another Comet, and it sold for $82. So $82 sale. Let's log into my store now. I had 3 items going out on my store. Just have to get logged out of mine and Brandon's, logged into mine, and then I can show you what we sold. So my store is Retro Rewinder, just like all of my social media handles. And then mine and Brandon's store is Flippin' Retro. So we had 3 items going out. The first thing, we'll just grab one because I'm not sure where they are. I did not have a great box for this. This is the smallest box that I have at the moment, but we just sold a CD. I do not like putting CDs in bubble mailers. The jewel cases just crack really easily, so I try to avoid putting them in bubble mailers. If I had like a DS game, even like a PS2 if it's cheap, those don't crack as easy, but these PS1 games, Dreamcast, jewel cases, anything like that, they crack pretty easy, so I don't like to put them in bubble mailers. But this is a Judas Priest 98 Live Meltdown CD. This came from a garage sale. Most likely I paid somewhere between $0.25 and $1. I don't remember how much I paid for this one. I don't typically pay more than that for CDs. But this one sold for $14.99, and the buyer did pay the shipping. And since I have a little bit bigger of a box, we're just going to put some packing paper on the bottom, load the top. With more. Give it that shake test. It's not shifting. And then this one's good to go. So this was a CD. Okay, next item we have here is a car that I don't even remember where this came from. I've had this for a long time. Probably shouldn't have even listed it online. I should have just thrown it in the flea market booth, but you know, I've had this thing for at least a year, maybe even 2 years. It's just a 24 gold carat plated car from Hot Rod Racing Champions. This thing sold for $6.21. They actually paid $9 to ship it. So quite a bit more to ship this thing than it actually costs for the item. And it's just going straight into the box that has the packing paper underneath. Then we do the packing paper on top. And shake test, it's good to go. And we have one more item to go out, and it's a super easy item to ship. So we have that 24 karat, 24 gold car. Okay, last item that we have here is a pair of jeans, and it's super easy to ship because it's just going to go out in this poly bag. I'm not going to unfold these, but these are David Britton Buffalo jeans, and these were brand new at tag. I think I paid $6.99 for these, or $7.99 for these. I don't remember if it's $6.99 or $7.99, but all of our local Goodwills here price all of the jeans. I think it's $7.99, so $8 for a pair of jeans. I don't buy a lot of jeans from them unless they're new at tag or I get a good brand like Miss Me, Rock Revival. I do pick up Ariat jeans for that price, and the BKE jeans if they're men's. Sometimes I pick them up depending on how they look. But yeah, so it's $7 or $8. If these were at a garage sale, I wouldn't have paid more than $5 for them. And we sold these for $17.88. And again, the buyer did pay the shipping, just like with all of my items. I do not offer free shipping on anything. I used to offer free shipping, and it just did not work with the way I run my store. If I would do sales, big discounts, sometimes I ended up losing money because the shipping cost was more than what I sold the item for, especially if it's going like to California. So I just made the business decision that nothing was going to be free shipping on my store, and it's been fine for me. Mine and Brandon's store is the same way. We do not offer free shipping on anything. The buyer pays the shipping every time. And there we go. All of our shipping is done for today. We did have an order that just came in. I'll probably go ahead and just get that packed up this time of year. A lot of orders come in, and if I'm already doing my shipping and an order comes in, I go ahead and try to just get it out. Plus, that limits the time that maybe somebody decides that they want to change their mind. So those cancellations can't happen if you get the item packed up and shipped out. So this was the last item. I'm going to go grab that last item, finish up, and I'll be all done today. So thank you guys so much for coming in, watching. Hopefully you learned some maybe items you didn't know, especially those dealer promos. If you can find those plastic dealer promo cars, pick them up. They always sell. We normally get bottom dollar around $30 if they're from the 60s and older. You get into the 90s and stuff, they're not great. A lot of those we just put in our flea market for $5 a piece. So keep an eye out for those like 60s, 50s dealer promos. They're always really good. This has been Retro Rewinder. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.